Hey everyone, happy Friday. I'm getting up off it early today, y'all. Hold on. Let me just hold on. Come on. Okay. Hey y'all. Hey, everybody's coming in. Hold on. Come on in, y'all. Give me a second. Y'all come on in. Everybody come on in. Okay, who we having here? Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna try to be off of here by 3:30 today. I'm not gonna do a long live today at all. Start my weekend, honey, because I need a break. I need a break, honey. Yes. Hey, everyone. Hey, open book. Yes, I ain't gonna do a long live today, y'all. I'm gonna get off early today. Maybe I don't know. Hold on. All right, let me turn my other. Child, what is going on, y'all? What's new? All right, I'm waiting on Ebony to come in this chat. Hey, Miss Smith. Come on. Okay, y'all, come on in the room. Hit the like button for me, y'all. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Hope everybody had a good night. Okay. Let me turn this light on so I can see the comments. Hey, Miss Joy. Good morning. Good. Well, yeah, it's good afternoon here. It is after 12. I always say good morning and good evening. You know why? Because I don't really know what different people, live at. So it is could be morning where some people stay. You know. Everybody stays in different states. Justice for Ramika. Justice for my baby Ramika. Mm-hmm. And let me just tell some, Lord, don't start me today. I don't even feel like this shit today. Yes, Mama. It is 9:20 in California. Oh, you in California? Oh, okay. Now, if some of y'all come in my chat and y'all don't like the way I talk, don't come to fucking my motherfucking chat. I ain't asked your motherfucking ass to be here. Okay? I ain't asked you to be here. If you don't like because you feel like I talk loud, then get the fuck on. Because ain't nobody asked you to come in my chat. I'm sick of people always running their damn mouth. Like, damn, you got so much to fucking say. Like, go the fuck on the high under a brick some goddamn where. Like, don't fuck with me because I curse your ass the fuck out. Okay? So if you don't like, because you always tell my son, oh, Miss D, loud. Well, why the fuck you over here? I ain't asked for your motherfucking presence. Shit. Don't fuck with me. I curse your ass the fuck out. I ain't asked your motherfucking ass to watch me. I don't need your motherfucking view, and I don't need your motherfucking light. So don't come the fuck over here. If you don't like how loud I talk, because let me tell you something. Anywhere I go in motherfucking life and I don't like it, I don't go the fuck back. Okay? Just like if I watch something on TV and if I don't like it, what the fuck I'm gonna do? I'm gonna turn the motherfucking channel, even turn the whole motherfucking TV the fuck off. So please just do me the same way. Please just do me the same way and leave me the fuck alone. Okay? God damn, what the fuck is going on with these people? They come and just bother you for nothing, girl. Facts, Roy D. It sound like, girl, baby. I don't know what's wrong with them. Sometimes I got to laugh at them because they're so funny. They so funny. But I'm going to read your motherfucking ass before I block you. Get you right on up out of here. You know, you might have to make another page to come back. You know what I'm saying? But please don't tell me how to talk. Please don't do that. You know, you don't like I'm talking loud. Just don't come over here. That's it. I'm not gonna change for you. Who the fuck is you? You ain't fucking nobody. Move the fuck on. It's a lot of content creators all throughout YouTube. I'm quite sure you will find one that don't talk loud as Miss D. Okay. I'm quite sure they out here somewhere. I don't know where they at. Bitch, go find them. Okay, and find them on your motherfucking own. Don't fuck with me. Girl, they just messing with me for no reason, child. I was all the way over there. The Lord, they come all over there messing with me this morning. I said, well, what in the world? Whoo, baby. Mm-mm-mm. I'm all the way over there on my sis platform, girl. They came all the way over there fucking with me this morning. And Lord. And I'll be respectful to people panels. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like that. I don't like disrespecting nobody panel. But I said I'm gonna read that bitch when I go live. She better not fuck with me. She better go on now. D reminded me of the other Judge CC. Oh yes. Like this, and it's sad though, y'all. It really is. If you don't like what a content creator say, or you don't, like the way they talk, or you don't like what they post, you don't have to look at it. If you do, that's what you're choosing to do on your own. You don't have to. You don't have to do that. That's what you choosing to do, because you know why? You like drama. You know what I'm saying? You like drama. You don't have to do that. Like, what? I don't understand it. You come all in my goddamn comments when I finish my live, and you just talk shit to me. And Lord Jesus, honey, some of y'all comments, I just laugh because it be fucking funny, because you don't scare me with your fucking comments. Okay? You're not going to make me change my mind how I feel about Ramika. Okay? So what you do, just listen to the live, give me a view, you know what I'm saying? And just don't leave no comment. Just go ahead. Because you the one being nosy over here. You're being nosy. Because you want to see what the conversation was about on the platform. So you watching the replay. I'm not asking you to watch the replay. You're watching the replay because you want to be fucking nosy. Just carry on. Read the fucking room. Every last one of my thumbnails is fucking who? Ramika. So then now you know that this platform is about Ramika. So when you come in my chat, you come at your own motherfucking risk. And I'm going to curse you the fuck out now. I'm just telling you now. I'm just giving you a heads up now. Now, if you come in here being respectful, I'll give you a chance. But if you come in here talking that shit, I'm just going to go on and curse you out and tell my moms to go on and unblock it. And see, I ain't even got to tell the moms to block it, because they'll do that anyway. And sometimes, I tell my moms, just let the chat dog them out and then block them. Let the chat have a field day with them, you know what I mean? And then block them, because I get sick of that shit. Now they're telling me how to talk. They tell me I talk too fucking loud, girl. That's what they told me this morning, girl. I was over there on open book platform this morning, girl, and they came over there messing with me and told me I was too loud, child. And I'm not going to disrespect open book platform. I just told the bitch, if you didn't like it, just go on. Oh, Lord, I ain't even going to say that. I ain't even going to say what I want to say. Lord. But I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with these people. They all over the place, honey. They like flying monkeys. They just all over the place. They just can't help themselves. Yeah, open book didn't even see. She said, what's going on? I said, because she talking shit about me in the chat. I was looking at the chat. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I say, Lord have mercy, Jesus. Hey, OB. AB, how you feeling, sweetie? How are you doing today, and how are you feeling, my love? Lord, yes, they all flying monkeys, just running all through YouTube, and they want to attack people, and say nasty things about them. Because I always told y'all, like, I'm not going to sit here and attack anybody the way people run their platforms, because everybody's entitled to run their platform the way they want to run their platform, right? Because I'm going to run my platform the way I want to run my platform. But if I log into something and I hear stuff I don't like, I just leave. I'm not going to sit there and start to comment all in your chat and wait until you drop something on your community wall and comment on it, or wait until you in your live and we watch it and comment. That's too much energy for me, y'all. And I don't like that type of energy, because to me, that is negative energy. So I'm just not even gonna do all that. You know what I'm saying? I try to stay in peaceful spots, peaceful areas, and things like that. You know, like some of these people is just, ooh, Lord, oof, oof, oof. She's ringing the bell today. Oh, okay, okay. Okay, AB, praise God, baby. I've been praying for you, sis. I've been praying for you. And I even thought about you last night when I got off my live. I really, really did. I thought about you, but I didn't have no way of, like getting in contact with you or anything. But I thought about you, and I have been praying for you. I know, because you did tell me. You sent me a message, and I have been praying for you. You have been in my thoughts. I love you, sis, and I'm so grateful. I'm grateful to hear that. Congratulations, baby. Yes. 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 God is always good, and God is always on time. Always on time. Yes. And I'm a type of person, y'all. I don't like sharing nobody's business if they don't give me permission to do that. So that's why I never did. I just kept that to myself. But I has been praying for her. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. When you tell me something, it stay with me. I'm not gonna share nobody else's business if they don't, tell me to do that. So that's why I didn't say anything. Roy D, every time you drop one of them, that circle gets tight. For the ones who for Ramika. Yes, yes, absolutely, sis. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. And we gonna always, like I said, y'all, things might not happen when we want it to happen. Where is Ebony? Brittany, is you in the chat? Get in contact with Ebony. Because she wanted me to do this story for her. And I do stories only when I first come on. I don't do them in the middle of my lives. Is she here, Brittany? Good afternoon, Royal D and everyone. And justice for Ramika. Exactly. Exactly. Yes, justice for Ramika. And it might not come when we want it, y'all, but it will. It definitely will. It will come. It will come. Trust me. It seems like it's just slow. It just seems like it's in slow motion. You know, do we like it? No, because I can't stand it. But I do believe if it was probably in another state, it probably would have moved faster. And then, on top of that, it was so much, like me and Open Book was saying on her live this morning. It was just so much inconsistencies with the reports and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So they probably got to redo shit all over again and stuff like that. We just never know what's going on in that police station, child. But we hope something is going right in that police station. That's what we hoping for. We hoping that something is going right in that police station. You know. I know you excited, sis. I know you are. I know you are. Praise God. God is good, right? God is good all the time. All the time. So, this just way too slow. It is, Miss Joy. It is. It is. And like I said this morning, me and Open Book was talking about, different states. It's just they're slowest when it comes to certain situations like this. You know what I'm saying? They're very slow. I mean, again, I just never seen nothing like it. I never seen nothing like it at all. It is slow. It's like a lot of people want answers, you know. Roy D. That's third witness statement. Threw everything off. Yes, it did. It did. It did. That fucking statement won't nothing but lies. Well, that's all it was, y'all. A bunch of lies. A bunch of lies. She went to the house. She rung the bell and all this stuff. You know, like a bunch of lies. Yeah, it's okay, Miss Joy. It's gonna be all right. Miss Joy said she losing her points, her cool points. It's gonna be all right. Hold on, y'all. I was reading something. Yeah, sometimes things can be slow. Again, different states. Like I said before, it wouldn't be like that here. It wouldn't. It wouldn't be like that here. It wouldn't. You know, it definitely wouldn't be like that here. I I don't know, y'all. I just feel like Chicago, like the justice system is, y'all. It is like it's a young lady, y'all, just got unalive in Chicago. Was it this November, right? She got unalive last month. She got unalive last month. I don't think they found her killer yet. I don't think so. I don't think they even know who unalived her. I don't know if y'all heard about it. She got unalive in her car. Did y'all hear about that? Did anyone of y'all hear about the lady from Chicago got unalive in her car? We're going to get through this together. Yes. Yes, we are. Yep. So let me know if y'all heard of that story about last month. She was gunned down last month. I think she was at a red light or something like that. She could have been in a red light. Yeah, I heard of it. Okay, Miss White, you did? Okay, yeah. Um, hey, honey dip, hey girl, what's going on? And matter of fact, y'all, she had her baby in the car when that happened to her. She had her baby in the car. Mm-hmm. She had her baby. I heard about it. I think that's in. Well, I can play it for y'all if y'all want me to. Y'all let me know if y'all want me to. I can play it for y'all. Um, that's because that's Carlos. Wow, really, really so sad. No, I haven't seen it, but I looked it up. Yeah, she was unalive. I think she was at. I think she stopped at a red light or something, and I think another car pulled up, and I think they gunned her down in the car. She was at a red light. Okay, she was at a red light. Okay, got you. Okay, she was at a red light. Yeah, and a car pulled up on her. Right, right. Yes, I think the East Coast must have sticky law enforcement. Some girl, I don't know what they got. I went, shit, girl, you shitting me. Yes, please play it. Okay, I will. Let me get it. Yeah, they say she got set up. She said something. But you know what? Y'all, I did see a little bit of it, but I don't know. I'll let y'all see it and y'all can determine what y'all feel about it. Do y'all really think that she set her baby daddy up to, and that's why they did that to her? Because that's what the word on the street was. And y'all just tell me how y'all view it, because y'all ain't got to view it like me. You feel me? Everybody got different views of, how they may feel about the story. Hold on. Let me just take it back to this and then I can share it. Okay. So, Okay, I'm gonna bring it up for y'all. Wait. Okay, because I'm drinking down a little bit. Okay. One, two.
Oh, she is grown as hell. I could never.
Lola, please don't say that word. I
Period.
can never. Sound like
The
hot.
27th of October, 2025, 4:48 p.m., Chicago's South Side, the intersection of
Hey, Miss
76th and
Walker.
Vincent. A young mother sits behind the wheel of her car, waiting for the red light to change. Her child is secured in the back seat. It's just another ordinary afternoon, the kind where you're thinking about dinner, about getting home, about the mundane tasks that fill your day. Traffic hums around her. People walk by. Life continues, as it always does in Chicago. Then another vehicle pulls alongside her car. No warning, no chance to react, no time to understand what's happening. Multiple gunshots shatter the afternoon silence. The driver's side window explodes into 1,000 pieces. Bullets tear through metal and glass, striking the young woman again and again as she sits helpless behind the wheel. In seconds, maybe less, it's over. The shooter's vehicle speeds away, disappearing into the maze of South Side streets. The woman slumps forward, mortally wounded. In the back seat, her child is physically unharmed. But what that baby just witnessed will haunt them forever. This is Ariana Carter, 24 years old, aspiring rapper who performed under the name Gari, devoted mother. And now, another name added to Chicago's growing list of murder victims. But here's what separates this execution from the hundreds of other shootings that plague Chicago every year. Exactly 24 hours before Ariana was gunned down at that red light, another body dropped on Chicago's South Side. THF Zoo, a respected figure in the drill rap community, connected to some of the biggest names in the city, was ambushed and killed in broad daylight in an auto parts parking lot. Within hours of Zoo's murder, Chicago's digital streets erupted. Social media exploded with accusations, finger-pointing, and threats. And one name kept appearing in those posts: Ariana Carter. People claimed she gave up Zoo's location, that she set him up, that his blood was on her hands. Less than 24 hours later, she's dead, executed while her child watched from the back seat. Coincidence? Or the fastest retaliation hit in Chicago's recent memory? Did Ariana Carter actually betray THF Zoo and seal his fate? Or was she an innocent young mother who became a target simply because of who her baby father was and the dangerous world he came from? What connects an aspiring 24-year-old female rapper to one of Chicago's most violent gang conflicts, a war that's been raging for years and has claimed dozens of lives? And why did her baby father's actions from 8 years ago create enemies who would wait patiently for the perfect moment to strike, taking their revenge not on him, but on the mother of his child? Today, I'm breaking down everything. The relationships that tied Ariana to Chicago's deadliest street wars. The betrayals, real or imagined, that allegedly led to Zoo's murder. The two executions that happened within 24 hours of each other. And the truth behind what really happened during those deadly hours in October 2025. But to understand why Ariana died at that red light with her baby in the car, we need to go back. We need to understand who she was, what she wanted, and the man she chose to have a child with. Because her baby father's alleged involvement in a 2017 mass shooting created enemies who never forgot. Enemies who couldn't reach him behind bars. Enemies who would make him pay by taking away the mother of his child. Before we continue, let me know in the comments, have you heard about this case? Drop a 1 if this is your first time hearing about Ariana Carter, or a 2 if you've been following the Chicago drill scene and already know this story. So who was Ariana Carter? Before she became another name in Chicago's endless list of victims, before the accusations and the speculation, she was a 4-year-old woman with dreams that extended far beyond the violent streets she called home. Known in Chicago's music scene as Gari, Ariana represented a generation of young people growing up on the South Side, where violence isn't the exception, it's the daily reality. This is a place where attending funerals becomes more frequent than celebrating birthdays, where making it to 25 feels like an achievement, where simply surviving takes courage most of us will never understand.
Yeah,
But
that's
Ariana wanted
crazy.
more than survival. She wanted success. She wanted safety for her child. She wanted out. And like so many young people in her position, she saw music as her escape route. She watched rappers like Chief Keef, King Von, and Lil Durk rise from these same streets to international fame and fortune. If they could do it, why couldn't she? Music wasn't just an artistic dream for Ariana. It was potentially her only realistic path to providing a better future for her child. The timeline of her music career was just beginning. She'd been working on her sound, writing her lyrics, preparing for the moment when the world would finally hear her voice. And that moment came on the 14th of October 2025, when she released her debut song titled, We Ain't All Smoke. This track was everything Ariana wanted to say to the world. It was raw, authentic, and unapologetically Chicago. The lyrics reflected the harsh reality she lived every day. She rapped about freedom killers, coded language for those who end lives without hesitation. She referenced people who rock and cut out, street terminology, for those who betray their own. One particularly aggressive line declared, "He's sweet, we bake his ass," threatening language that proved she understood the streets intimately. Perhaps most telling was her declaration, "That's my mama, son, the bad one." This wasn't just bragging. This was Ariana claiming her place, establishing her credibility, proving she wasn't just another wannabe rapper playing dress-up in street culture. She lived this life. She knew this world. But here's the tragic contradiction at the heart of drill rap. To succeed, you must prove you're authentic. You must show you really live the life you're rapping about. Yet proving that authenticity can cost you everything. The very credibility that makes you marketable also makes you a target. Ariana was living this contradiction. Her lyrics about loyalty, violence, and revenge would prove horrifyingly prophetic just 13 days later. Yet despite her music ambitions and her attempts to establish street credibility, everyone who knew Ariana emphasized one thing above all else: she was a mother first. Her child was her priority, her motivation, her reason for everything. Friends described her as devoted, constantly present in her child's life, determined to build something better for the next generation. The father of her child was Antonio Dickerson, known in the rap world as 7'5", Antonio was more established in Chicago's drill scene than Ariana, with millions of YouTube views and connections throughout the industry. Whether they were still romantically involved at the time of her death remains unclear, but they were permanently connected through their child. This connection to Antonio wasn't just about co-parenting. It meant Ariana inherited his affiliations, his allies, and crucially, his enemies. In Chicago's street culture, your family's associations can define your fate, regardless of your own choices or actions. By late 2025, Ariana was navigating an impossible situation. Antonio was behind bars, facing serious charges for events from years earlier. She was essentially a single mother with limited employment options, trying to raise a child in one of America's most dangerous neighborhoods, while launching a music career that required her to reference the very violence she was trying to escape. Those close to her described Ariana as determined and talented, but also vulnerable. She was young, still proving herself, connected to dangerous situations through relationships she couldn't simply walk away from. The question that haunts her story is whether she actively participated in street conflicts or was merely guilty by association, caught in circumstances beyond her control. The tragic irony that defines Ariana's final moments is that her child was with her when she died. The baby she was trying to protect, trying to provide for, trying to build a better future for, witnessed her execution at that red light. Physically unharmed, but forever changed. Now, to understand why Ariana ended up at that red light on October 27th, we need to talk about the man she had a child with. Because in Chicago streets, who you're connected to can determine whether you live or die. And Ariana was connected to Antonio Dickerson. Antonio went by the name 7'5", in the music world. Some called him 757B. Those numbers weren't random. They represented the streets that shaped him. 37th, 27th, and 35th on Chicago's South Side. This is where he grew up, where he learned the rules of survival, and where he built his reputation. By 2024, when everything started falling apart, Antonio was 24 years old, the same age as Ariana. Both of them were young, trying to navigate a world that didn't offer many paths to success. But unlike Ariana, who was just starting her music journey, Antonio had already made significant progress in Chicago's drill rap scene. He repped TTB Train to Blow, a collective from the South Side. And he wasn't just some local rapper with a few hundred views. Antonio had actually built something real. His track Dirty Stick had been released about 4 years before Ariana's death, and it had racked up 4.5 million views on YouTube. That's not a small number. That's legitimate success in the drill music world. The song carried that raw, aggressive energy that drill fans connected with, authentic street perspective.
Hold on, y'all. That's so sad. Like, man. I mean, her baby's so young, man. Her baby will never get to see her again. Sad.
Violent themes that reflected the reality he came from.
Very pretty.
And people responded. Millions of them. But Antonio's success went beyond just YouTube numbers. He had managed to extend his reach outside of Chicago. He spent considerable time in California, which for someone from Chicago's South Side represents a genuine escape. California meant distance from the daily violence, from the conflicts, from the constant threat. It meant he was building a career that could sustain him legitimately. He even secured an interview with No Jumper, which is a major platform in hip-hop. Getting on No Jumper means you've reached a certain level of recognition. You're not just local anymore. You're on the map. Antonio sat down with them about a year before his 2024 arrest, talking openly about his life, his music, his background. He was living between two worlds, Chicago and California, building his brand, creating opportunities. From the outside, it looked like he was making it out, like he had found the path that so many others search for but never find. But here's where Antonio's connections become critical to understanding what happened to Ariana. TTB, Antonio's crew, wasn't isolated. They had deep ties to another group called 051 Young Money. These groups operated from different blocks TTB from their area, 051 from around 39th and 51st, but they were tight, brothers, as Antonio would describe them. In that No Jumper interview, Antonio explained the relationship. He talked about how they used to walk back and forth between neighborhoods, building bonds that became unbreakable. This wasn't a casual association. This was family. Now, why does this matter? Because 051 Young Money had been in a long-running conflict with THF. Terror Hollow Fuck. .THF.
Wow.
And that conflict had been going on for years, reportedly
Jesus
sparked by violence that took someone close to THF Zoo, his stepson. So when you map it out, Antonio's alliance with 051 meant he was automatically on one side of a war. And that meant anyone connected to Antonio, his family, his friends, his baby mother became associated with that side too. Whether Ariana wanted to be involved or not, her connection to Antonio placed her in the middle of a conflict she might not have even fully understood. This is how Chicago's streets work. Your baby father's enemies can become your enemies. Your child's father's alliances determine who sees you as friend or foe. Ariana didn't pull a trigger in any previous conflict. She wasn't out here causing problems, but she had Antonio's child.
Yeah, there ain't no
and in
joke
that
like
world,
that, Barbara.
that's enough. Now, back to that No Jumper interview. Antonio sat there, relaxed, talking about his past, his connections, his journey. He even mentioned being on the run for 8 years for a weapons charge. He was candid, open, seemingly confident that his past was behind him. But what Antonio didn't know during that interview was that detectives were quietly building a case, not for the weapons charge he mentioned, for something far more serious. Something from 2017 that we'll get into shortly. The fact that he was willing to discuss his past so openly suggests he had no idea what was coming. He thought that chapter was closed. The interview happened about a year before police showed up at his door. A year before everything collapsed. While he was doing media, building his profile, expanding his brand, there were investigators methodically putting together evidence that would eventually take his freedom. Now, to understand why Antonio ended up in police custody, we need to go back 8 years. Back to a summer evening when he allegedly made a choice that would create enemies powerful enough to wait nearly a decade for payback. August 8th, 2017. Bronzeville neighborhood on Chicago's South Side. A group of friends and family gathered on East 37th Place for what should have been an ordinary summer barbecue. Grills were fired up, music played, people laughed and caught up with each other. It was one of those rare moments when the community could just exist without fear, without tension. Just neighbors enjoying food together on a warm evening. This location was significant. The barbecue was happening just 2 blocks away from Chicago Police Department headquarters. 2 blocks. That's how bold the violence had become in the city. People couldn't even feel safe, literally, in the shadow of the police station. But that false sense of security was about to be shattered. Multiple shooters approached the gathering. No warning, no chance for anyone to react or take cover. Gunfire exploded across East 37th Place, tearing through the peaceful evening. People scattered in every direction, scrambling for safety. But there was nowhere to go. The shooting happened so fast that most people didn't even understand what was occurring until bullets were already flying past them. When the gunfire finally stopped, 7 people lay on the ground with gunshot wounds. 1 man, 6 women. Let that sink in. 6 women were shot at a community barbecue. This wasn't some carefully planned, targeted operation. This was reckless, indiscriminate violence that didn't care who got hit. The screams that followed the gunshots were probably heard blocks away. Blood pooled on the pavement. Bodies lay motionless or writhing in pain. Neighbors who had been laughing moments before were now calling 911, performing first aid or running for their lives. Complete chaos had replaced what had been a peaceful community gathering. Among those 7 victims was 28-year-old Alfred Mitchell Jr. His friends knew him as AJ. By every account, AJ was a good man, friendly, outgoing, the type of person who made others feel comfortable. One of his relatives later told reporters, "He was very friendly, outgoing. You know, he laughed. We spoke about old times and everything. He wasn't a bad person." AJ took a bullet to the back of his head. He died right there on East 37th Place, probably never even knowing what hit him. 6 other people survived their wounds, 5 women and 1 man, but they would carry physical scars and psychological trauma for the rest of their lives. You don't just get over watching someone die at a barbecue. You don't forget the sound of gunshots ripping through what was supposed to be a safe, happy moment. Another family had to plan a funeral. Another group of friends had to process senseless loss. Another cycle of grief began in a city already drowning in it. But here's where this gets even more tragic, and this detail is crucial for understanding what would happen to Ariana 8 years later. According to both street sources and the police investigation, Alfred Mitchell Jr. wasn't even the intended target. He was completely innocent in the wrong place. Absolutely the worst possible time. The actual target, allegedly, was a rapper connected to a group called 600, someone known as McAdoo. And that person? He wasn't hit at all. He walked away from that barbecue, while AJ, who had nothing to do with any gang conflict, any rap beef, any street drama, died in his place. This is the reality of how gang violence actually plays out in Chicago. The people pulling the triggers often hit everyone except who they came for. Innocent people pay the price for conflicts they have nothing to do with. Mothers, daughters, friends, having a meal together, get caught in gunfire, meant for someone else entirely. Police arrested Antonio Dickerson shortly after the shooting. He was charged in connection with the attack, though the specific details of what role he allegedly played were never fully made public. But then something happened that probably gave Antonio hope he was released. The case went cold, and for 7 years, Antonio lived his life. He made music. His track, Dirty Stick, racked up millions of views. He traveled to California, building connections and opportunities outside of Chicago. He did interviews, including that sit-down with No Jumper, where he talked openly about his past and his hood. He started a family with Ariana. He probably thought the 2017 case was finished, that whatever evidence they had wasn't enough, that he had actually escaped consequences. But in Chicago, especially in Chicago's street culture, nobody ever really escapes. Detectives don't forget about a mass shooting that left an innocent man dead and 6 women wounded. Witnesses don't forget. And most importantly, Alfred Mitchell Jr.'s family didn't forget. See, this is why the 2017 barbecue massacre matters so much to understanding what happened to Ariana in 2025. If Antonio was involved in that shooting, and police clearly believed he was since they arrested him, he created enemies that night. Real enemies. The kind who remember every detail. The kind who wait for the right moment. Alfred's family and friends would remember who allegedly took him from them.
You create
Allied
enemies there,
groups would
baby.
remember the
Lord.
disrespect. People who were at that barbecue, who saw their friends and family members shot, who dove for cover while bullets flew, they would remember exactly who was responsible. In Chicago's street culture, memory is long. Grudges last for years, even decades. Your past follows you forever. And not just you, it follows your family, your children, anyone connected to you. Having Antonio's baby meant Ariana inherited every enemy he had ever made. She became connected to a conflict that started before she and Antonio might have even been together, before their child was born, maybe before she even knew who he was. From 2017 to 2025, that's 8 years. 8 years of Antonio's enemies.
Damn.
Knowing who he was,
Damn.
where his connections were,
lot of enemies,
who mattered
y'all.
to him. 8 years of waiting for the right opportunity. Because in the streets, legal justice isn't enough. Even if Antonio went to prison for the rest of his life, that wouldn't satisfy the people who lost Alfred Mitchell Jr. that night. They wanted their own form of justice. Street justice.
Damn.
And street justice often means going after the people someone loves when you can't reach them directly. That 2017 barbecue shooting was probably retaliation for something that happened before it, and it would lead to retaliation after it. And that retaliation would lead to more retaliation. On and on and on,
Jesus.
with more bodies dropping each time, more families destroyed, more innocent people caught in crossfire. The summer of 2017 saw hundreds of shootings in Chicago. This was just one of many. But this particular shooting would have consequences that would reach all the way to October 2025, when Ariana Carter sat at a red light with her child and paid the price for being connected to someone who allegedly participated in this violence 8 years earlier. So when we talk about what happened to Ariana, we can't just look at the 24 hours between THF's death and hers. We have to look at the foundation that was laid years before, the enemies that were made, the grudges that were held, the culture of revenge that never forgets and never forgives. This is the reality of gang violence. Innocent people at a barbecue getting shot, good people dying while the intended targets survive, families destroyed over conflicts they have nothing to do with, and consequences that echo for years, claiming new victims long after the original incident is over. 7 years. That's how long Antonio Dickerson thought he was safe. 7 years of making music, traveling to California, building a life with Ariana and their child. 7 years of believing the 2017 barbecue shooting case had gone cold and would stay that way forever. He was wrong. In early 2024, Chicago police arrived at Antonio's home in Aleppo, a south suburban area just outside the city. The knock on the door came without warning. Officers placed him under arrest and charged him with murder, 6 counts of attempted first-degree murder, and 6 counts of aggravated battery, all connected to that August 2017 shooting that killed Alfred Mitchell Jr. and wounded 6 others. The timing of the arrest was particularly striking. It came shortly after Antonio's No Jumper interview, where he'd spoken openly about his background, his connections to TTB and 051 Young Money, and even mentioned being on the run for 8 years on a weapons charge. He seemed comfortable, confident, like someone who believed his past was behind him. But investigators were watching, listening, and preparing to bring him in.
Years, that was a
The
long time
charges
to be on
Antonio
run.
faced were severe. Antonio
run.
faced were severe. Murder carries a potential life sentence in Illinois. 6 counts of attempted first-degree murder and 6 counts of aggravated battery added decades more to the potential prison time. If convicted on even some of these charges, Antonio would likely never see freedom again. Everything he'd worked for, the music, the lifestyle, the future he'd imagined for himself and his family was finished. For Ariana, Antonio's arrest created an impossible situation.
Hold on, let me take it off this commercial, y'all. Give me a second. Oh, Lord. 8 years.
Hi there. Sorry to interrupt.
8 years.
Interruptions
That's a
can be quite annoying,
long time.
like a stuffy
You might as
nose.
well have just left Chicago.
Overnight, she went from being a young mother co-parenting with her child's father, being a single parent whose baby's father was locked up, facing life in prison. The financial support Antonio may have provided was gone. Any emotional support or co-parenting help vanished. She was alone. The financial pressure was immediate and crushing. How would she pay rent? How would she afford childcare? Food, clothing, utilities, all the basic necessities of raising a child now fell entirely on her shoulders. There's no indication Ariana had traditional employment or a steady income source. Like many young people in her neighborhood, legitimate job opportunities were scarce, and the ones that existed paid barely enough to survive. Beyond the financial strain, there was social pressure. In Chicago's drill music scene, being connected to someone who'd been arrested carried a certain stigma. Some people would view her as guilty by association. Others might see her as a liability, someone whose connections to Antonio made her dangerous to be around. Still others might view her as a potential target, someone who could be hurt to send a message to Antonio or his allies. With Antonio locked up, his enemies might see Ariana and their child as easier targets. If someone wanted to hurt Antonio but couldn't reach him in jail, going after his family was the next option. This wasn't paranoia, this was the reality of how conflicts played out in Chicago's streets. Women and children were supposed to be off limits, according to street codes, but those codes were broken regularly. Ariana faced an impossible choice. Stay connected to Antonio and their child, maintaining that family bond but accepting the risks that came with it, or distance herself for safety, potentially cutting ties with Antonio to protect herself and their child from his enemies. She chose to stay. She chose to support her child, to maintain that connection, to carry on despite the dangers. But staying meant she needed money. She needed a way to survive. And in her world, with her connections and her circumstances,
Y'all do it
music
sound like
seemed
she
like the
stayed with
only
him because
viable
she
path
needed money?
forward. With Antonio
Because
locked
he
up,
had the money?
Ariana's interest in pursuing a rap career shifted from dream to necessity. This wasn't just about artistic expression or fame anymore. This was about survival. If she could make it in Chicago's drill rap scene, she could provide for her child. She could pay the bills. She could build something that would last even if Antonio never came home. Between Antonio's arrest in early 2024 and October 2025, Ariana worked on her music. She wrote lyrics, recorded tracks, built her persona, and prepared for her
It
debut.
sounds like she knew what
She
type of
chose the
lifestyle
stage
he
name
had.
Gary and committed to the authentic Chicago drill. Sound aggressive, street-focused, raw, and real. The content of her music reflected the reality she lived. Violence, loyalty, revenge. These weren't abstract concepts for Ariana. They were her daily life. Her lyrics would reference the streets, the conflicts, the people, and the situations that defined her world. To be taken seriously in drill rap, you had to prove you were authentic, that you really lived what you rapped about. Having Antonio as her baby father gave Ariana a certain credibility in the scene. His connections to TTB and 051 Young Money, his millions of YouTube views, his established reputation, all of that transferred to her by association. Through Antonio, she had access to the drill rap network, to producers, to other artists, to the infrastructure needed to launch a career. But that same credibility came with
Okay, y'all, that is the link that Brittany dropped if anybody want to help the baby out for Christmas. Y'all can screenshot it, and whenever you feel like you want to, This is where I guess you send a donation to Amia. You send it through that link right there. So y'all can screenshot it. And that is the link. And I will drop it again before I get off. And I will also drop it again Monday when I come back.
Danger. Every lyric she wrote could be interpreted as disrespect by rival groups. Every connection she claimed could make her a target. Every association with Antonio's allies meant inheriting his enemies.
The link
The
that
very
Brittany just
things that
dropped,
gave her
Brittany.
authenticity in the music scene also put her life at risk. Ariana likely calculated that she could leverage Antonio's name and connections while avoiding the most dangerous aspects of that world. She probably thought she could stay on the periphery, make her music, build her career, and keep herself and her child safe. It was a reasonable calculation. Many people in Chicago's drill scene managed to navigate those waters without getting killed. But reasonable calculations don't always account for timing, for circumstances beyond your control, for events that pull you into conflicts you never intended to be part of. On the 14th of October, 2025, Ariana's debut song, We Ain't All Smoke, was released. This was her moment, her introduction to the world, her statement that she was ready to take her place in Chicago's competitive drill rap scene. The song was aggressive, authentic Chicago drill. The lyrics reflected the violence and loyalty that defined her world. She rapped about freedom killers, about people who rock and cut out, about violent retaliation. He's sweet, we bake his ass. She claimed her identity with lines like, "That's my mama," "Son, the bad one," establishing her street credibility and her willingness to stand with her people. The song was everything it needed to be to succeed in drill rap. It was raw, authentic, aggressive, and connected to the real conflicts playing out in Chicago's streets. Whether it would have been successful, we'll never know. The reception in those first 13 days is unclear. How many views it got, how many streams, whether it was gaining traction or struggling to find an audience. What we do know is that 13 days
I think it's a donation. You send money. Because I did want them to create because that's what I told her on the panel, create the Amazon list. But I guess they didn't do that. I guess they created the link that you can send the money, and I guess they will buy the gift. Baby. I guess that's how they got it, sweetheart. Because the day she was on my panel, I told her to create the Amazon list, but I guess they're taking the donations and then they'll do it themselves. Yep. So let's get back to it.
After that song dropped, Ariana Carter was dead. She never got to see if her music would succeed. She never got to find out if this path she'd chosen, this risky, dangerous path that was supposed to save her and her child, would actually work. The window between her debut and her death was so short that it's hard to separate the two events. Did her song play a role in what happened to her? Did the lyrics make her a target? Or was the timing purely coincidental, with her death connected to other factors entirely? Put yourself in Ariana's position for a moment. Your child's father just got locked up for murder and is facing life in prison. You have a young child depending on you for everything. You have no traditional job, no steady income, no clear path forward. But you have connections to Chicago's drill rap scene through Antonio. You have some talent, some authenticity, some credibility. Music seems like your only real option to provide for your child and build a future. Would you take that risk? Would you pursue the music career, knowing the dangers that come with it? Or would you find another way? Even if that other way meant struggling in poverty, working minimum wage jobs that barely cover expenses, accepting that your dreams of something better might never materialize. There's no easy answer. Ariana made her choice. She chose music. She chose to leverage her connections, to prove her authenticity, to build something that could support her child. And 13 days after her debut, she was executed at a red light with her child in the car. But 24 hours before Ariana Carter died at that red light on October 27th, another murder happened that set off a chain reaction nobody could stop.
Baby,
The 26th of
just couldn't live
October,
here. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
2025,
I just
an
couldn't
auto
live.
parts parking lot on Chicago's South Side. THF Zoo, a name that carried weight in the city's drill rap community, was going about his day when everything changed in an instant. He was ambushed. The attack was swift, calculated, and final. By the time anyone could react, THF Zoo was gone. Now, if you're not familiar with Chicago's drill scene, let me explain who this man was and why his death mattered so much. THF Zoo wasn't just another rapper trying to make it. He was a respected figure in his neighborhood, someone who had earned his place through years in the streets. His affiliation was with THF, a collective deeply rooted on the South Side. But what made him particularly notable was his connection to Lil Durk, one of Chicago's biggest success stories in hip-hop. When you're connected to someone at that level, your name carries weight far beyond your own block. But THF Zoo's story was marked by tragedy long before October 26th. Years earlier, his stepson had been taken from him in an act of violence. That loss wasn't just personal grief, it became the spark that ignited a war. According to those who follow Chicago's street conflicts closely, his stepson's death created a rift between THF and 051 Young Money that would span years and claim multiple lives on both sides. And here's where Antonio Dickerson, Ariana's baby father, enters the picture again. Remember, Antonio's crew, TTB, was closely aligned with 051 Young Money. He had called them his brothers in that No Jumper interview. They walked between each other's blocks, shared bonds, shared enemies, which meant THF's enemies were Antonio's enemies. And by extension, anyone connected to Antonio could be seen as connected to that conflict. This wasn't some brief disagreement that flared up and died down. This was years of back and forth violence, each side losing people, each loss demanding retaliation. The conflict played out not just in the streets but online, where insults flew, threats were posted, and every word could be the spark for the next shooting. In Chicago's drill scene, social media isn't just entertainment, it's a battlefield where wars are declared and targets are marked. So when THF Zoo was struck down in that parking lot in broad daylight, the boldness of it sent shockwaves through the community. This wasn't a late-night ambush in a dark alley. This happened during the day, in a public place. The message was clear. Nobody was untouchable. The reaction was immediate. Even in a city where violence is tragically common, this one stood out. THF Zoo's status, his connections, his history, all of it meant this wasn't going to be just another murder that faded from memory. His neighborhood mourned publicly. THF members posted tributes, expressed their grief, and made it clear that this loss would not go unanswered. The rage was real, and it was building. Within hours, and I mean hours, Chicago's social media exploded. This is the pattern that plays out after every high-profile murder in the city. People start speculating, naming names, pointing fingers. It's dangerous. It's often inaccurate, but it happens every single time. And once those accusations start flying, they take on a life of their own. Multiple names got dropped in those first few hours. People claimed to know who was responsible, where they were, what crew they ran with. Locations got shared, threats got posted, and in that digital chaos, one name started appearing that nobody expected: Ariana Carter. The theory spread quickly. Ariana had given up THF Zoo's location. She had set him up. She was the reason he was dead. Now, let's be clear. There was no concrete proof, no evidence, no screenshots of her passing information, no witnesses placing her at the scene, nothing solid, just street rumors and assumptions. But in Chicago street culture, accusations alone can be a death sentence. Once your name is out there, once people believe you're responsible, the truth almost doesn't matter anymore. The variations of the story multiplied as it spread. Some claimed she directly provided his location to the shooters. Others said she was nearby, saw him, and passed the information along. Still others suggested she had been a lookout, playing a more active role in the setup. Each version was different, but they all pointed to the same conclusion. Ariana Carter was involved in THF Zoo's death. But why would anyone think that? What connected a 24-year-old aspiring rapper and mother to the murder of a respected figure like THF Zoo? The answer lies in her relationship with Antonio. She was his baby mother. That connection alone tied her to TTB, and through TTB, to 051 Young Money THF's sworn enemies. In the logic of street conflicts, that connection was enough. If you're connected to our enemies, you're our enemy too. But there were other theories floating around about why she might have been involved. Some suggested it was about loyalty, that with Antonio locked up facing murder charges, proving her loyalty to his allies could somehow help him. Others speculated about money, that maybe she was paid to provide information. There was talk that she was trying to build street credibility for her rap career, and helping set up an enemy would prove she was really about that life. Then there were the rumors that she had been playing both sides. Some claimed she had connections to people in THF circles, while also being tied to 051 through Antonio.
Hold on. Y'all, I'm so scared of Chicago, y'all.
If you're
I
a
just
small
don't know what to
YouTuber
do
and
with
your
myself
videos
right
are
now.
getting 0
Y'all
views,
got me over here
this
scared as
2-minute
hell.
hack will change everything.
Lord
I'm going to
Jesus,
show you
help
the
me.
hidden
Ooh, I could never live there. I don't think I could go there to visit. I'm scared, y'all. I ain't even
If
gonna
true,
lie.
that would be the ultimate betrayal, being involved with one side while feeding information to their enemies. In street culture, there's no worse offense than playing both sides. Of course, there's also the possibility that she had nothing to do with any of it. Maybe she was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Maybe she saw something, someone noticed, and word got out. Maybe the accusations were completely fabricated, and she was just an easy target because of who her baby father was. We may never know the truth. What we do know is that once her name started circulating on social media as being connected to THF Zoo's death, she was marked. In Chicago's street culture, being publicly accused is often enough. The court of public opinion moves faster than any legal system, and its verdicts are final. Now here's where the timeline becomes crucial. THF Zoo was struck down on October 26th. The accusations against Ariana started flying that same day, within hours of his death. And then, less than 24 hours later, on October 27th, Ariana Carter was executed at a red light with her child in the car. 24 hours. That's the window we're talking about. From Zoo's death to Ariana's murder, barely a full day passed. If this was retaliation, and the timing certainly suggests it could be, it was executed with remarkable speed. Someone identified her as a target, found her location, and carried out the hit in less than a day.
Damn.
The speed of it sends a message that's impossible
That's
to ignore.
crazy word.
Swift revenge. Nobody connected to our enemies is safe. It doesn't matter if you're a woman. It doesn't matter if you have a child with you. If we believe you're responsible, justice will be immediate. But here's what I want you to consider. Does the 24-hour timeline prove this was retaliation for THF Zoo's death? Or is it possible, however unlikely, that this was a tragic coincidence? That Ariana's murder was connected to something else entirely, and the timing just happened to align with Zoo's death? And here's the harder question. Even if Ariana was involved in setting up THF Zoo, even if she did give up his location, even if she played a role in his death, does that justify what happened to her?
No,
Does it
don't.
justify executing her at a red light
No,
while
it
her young
don't.
child sat in that car,
That
forced to
was
witness
fucked
their
up.
mother
They ain't
being
had to do
shot
that.
multiple times? These are the questions that make this case so complicated, so tragic, and so representative of the impossible choices and consequences that define life in Chicago's most violent neighborhoods. There are no easy answers. There's just a trail of bodies, broken families, and a cycle that shows no signs. So here we are. From a barbecue gathering in 2017 that ended in bloodshed, to an arrest 7 years later in 2024, to 2 bodies dropping within 24 hours in October 2025. Alfred Mitchell Jr., a man who was simply enjoying an evening with friends. THF Zoo, a respected figure in Chicago's drill scene. And Ariana Carter, a 4-year-old mother with a debut song that had been out for less than 2 weeks. The survivors? 6 people wounded in that 2017 attack who carry those scars to this day. THF Zoo's family left to mourn without answers. Ariana's family facing the same painful reality. Antonio, sitting in a cell, watching his world collapse from behind bars. And most heartbreaking of all, a young child who witnessed their mother's final moments, now growing up without either parent. The questions remain. Did Ariana actually give up THF Zoo's location, or was she simply in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong last name? Who pulled the trigger on her at that red light? Who ambushed the zoo in that parking lot? Will anyone ever face charges for either murder? We don't know. What we do know is that multiple families have been shattered, a child has been left without parents, and this exact situation is playing out in neighborhoods across Chicago as we speak.
Yeah, we see
Ariana's
that.
story is more than another statistic on
We
Chicago's
definitely
crime
see that
reports.
for a
She
fact.
was a real person with real dreams. She wanted to build something through her music. She wanted to provide for her child. She wanted to create a legacy that went beyond the streets. But the environment she was born into, the man she chose to have a child with, and the conflicts that existed long before she ever picked up a microphone, all of it created a situation she couldn't escape. The community where Ariana lived continues to exist in an environment where violence is so common it barely makes the news unless there's a drill rap connection. So much potential, so many lives, all gone. This brings up questions we need to ask ourselves. Could Ariana have avoided this outcome? Should she have known better than to pursue drill rap music given her connections? Or was there truly no escape for her once she became Antonio's baby mother? These are uncomfortable questions without easy answers. What about Antonio? Does he bear responsibility for what happened to Ariana, even though he was locked up when she died? If his involvement in that 2017 shooting created enemies who eventually targeted his family, is he partially responsible? Should your past actions be allowed to affect your loved ones? Again, no easy answers. And what about drill music itself? Is it documentation of a harsh reality that needs to be heard? Or is it glorification that perpetuates the very violence it describes? Is it an escape route for talented young people? Or is it a trap that keeps them locked into conflicts that can get them killed? The answer is probably complicated. Maybe it's both at the same time. Can Chicago's cycle of violence be broken? What would it actually take? More resources for communities? Better conflict resolution programs? Changes in how drill music is produced and promoted? A cultural shift in how people view revenge and loyalty? All of the above? These are questions that need real answers, not just empty promises. Will anyone face charges for these murders? Street justice might satisfy some people emotionally,
Ooh,
but it
Lord.
doesn't bring anyone back, and it just continues the cycle. Legal justice seems unlikely given how these investigations typically go, but that doesn't mean we should stop pushing for it. And what happens to Ariana's child? That's the question that keeps me up at night. This child is inheriting all of this, the trauma, the conflicts, the environment. What kind of future awaits them? If this story affected you, if it made you think, if it opened your eyes to what's happening in communities like Chicago's South Side, then do something with that feeling. Share this story. Make people aware of what's happening. Have real conversations about solutions instead of just pointing fingers and assigning blame. There are organizations working to stop violence in Chicago that need support. Push for economic investment, quality education, and mental health services in affected communities. Remember that these are real people with real families, not just entertainment for true crime content. Something has to change, and change starts with awareness and action. I've asked a lot of questions throughout this video, and now I want to hear from you in the comments. What do you think really happened? Was Ariana involved in THF Zoo's death, or was she completely innocent, just guilty by association? Drop your honest opinion below. And here's the bigger question. What's the solution to Chicago's violence? I want real answers, not just thoughts and prayers
Well, I
or
don't know
vague
the
statements.
solution. I
What would
don't know.
actually work?
Maybe y'all need
Should
a whole
Antonio
new
bear
police force.
responsibility for what
Shit.
happened to Ariana,
Something.
even though he was locked up and couldn't have prevented it? Did his past actions and connections create the circumstances that led to her death? Let me know what you think. If you're from Chicago or you've experienced similar situations in your own community, share your perspective in the comments. Your voice matters, and others need to hear from people who actually understand this reality. One request, let's keep the comments respectful. These are real people and real families who are dealing with unimaginable pain. We can disagree and debate without being disrespectful. If you want more deep dives into domestic true crime cases like this, subscribe to the channel. I focus specifically on domestic true crime, particularly cases that don't get mainstream media attention. These are the stories that need to be told, the voices that need to be heard. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next video. Every case I cover goes this deep, with full background, all the connections, and complete analysis. No surface level coverage here. Stay safe out there.
Exactly, April. And I agree with you too, Freddie. Yeah, they need to change some gun laws. Like something need to be done because this is out of control. Like, and you know what, y'all? I believe that she was a target already when she had a baby by him, and she didn't know it was gonna get this far. He had money, he was a rapper, and she probably got deep invested in him, and then she was becoming a rapper. So I feel like she was already a target when she had a baby by him. You know what I'm saying? That was sad. But no, I don't agree with them at all. Shooting her up in the car like that. No, I don't agree with that at all. They didn't have to do her like that, especially with her baby. Now, did she have any involvements in his, um, you know, and him being unalive? I don't know. I can't say that. What do y'all think about it? All the laws in Chicago need to change. Yes. Yes. It seems like Chicago and everyone carry guns. Hey, sis. Seems like if you live in Chicago, motherfucker, you better carry a goddamn gun. Seems like that's the only way you're going to survive out that motherfucker. Shit. Goddamn. Ooh, Lord, child. She shouldn't have been done like that. Yeah, that was wrong. Yeah. But I feel like she became a target when she had this baby, way before, she started about being a rapper, and then people probably got jealous of her, and they said that they unalived her because, they felt like she was had something to do with him, you know, being unalive. But shit, all that shit they just said he was doing, shit, they said he been running for 8 years. How the hell she had something to do with that? That motherfucker was running before she met him. That's what it seems like to me. Shit. She was running. He was running already. He already had a bad rap sheet, and shit. And that motherfucker was living in Chicago running for 8 years and they didn't find him. Now, Chicago Police Department need to get it right. Ain't no way in the world you're going to be wanting 8 years here and 8 years in the same town? Shit. The way these motherfuckers snitch. Girl, it was a lady, right? The other day, she walked in a supermarket here and she stuck it up at gunpoint. Because, we got an app here to tell us what's going on in our city. And they had to lay the picture. Do you know I went to the motherfucking comments, y'all? I tell y'all no lie. A girl in the comments knew her. Girl, they gave her address out. They told where she lived. They said the aunt lived next door to her. They told the police department her room was in the back where the air condition was at. That's her room. Knock on the window. Girl, they told some of her family name and everything. I was like, well, oh my God. People in the comment was like, you a fucking snitch. You this, you that. Girl, I was like, oh my God. They was like, yeah, get her. She live here. This is her address. Because they only had a picture, but evidently they didn't know where her whereabouts was. So the girl in the chat told her address. They told the aunt address. They told the aunt name. They told the police department to go in the back of the house to knock on the window. The window you see the air conditioning, that's her bedroom. Girl, they told everything. I was like, wow, that was crazy, AC. That shit was wow. I was like, oh shit. They was like, cause she fucked up for that and blah blah blah. They told on her ass. They definitely did. So I'm thinking by now, like the cop has already been out there to her house already. Yeah, because this was last week. I was like, oh shit, they straight ratted her out. Whew. Hey, Miss T. Hey, baby. They knew it was for them 8 years. She had people around him that kept him covering. You know, um, they was talking about the other guy that got unalive, not the baby daddy. They thought she told where their dude was at. Oh, okay, got you. And sometimes y'all you can get involved with men and you don't really know their backgrounds and you can get deeply invested with them and then you already invested in them and then that's when you start to find out things that's not good about them. And sometimes it can cost you your life, you know. Sometimes you can get out in time enough. Some people don't. And some people can know a guy background and after they find out what type of lifestyle he been living and still living, some people choose to still stay, not knowing what the outcome going to be. And that's crazy because sometimes it's just I mean, I don't know. I just feel like I don't understand why these police departments be right there in the facility where some of these crimes be and shit still don't. Mm, I don't get it. I feel like being there's so much crime in Chicago, I feel like they should have cameras in all the spots that's violent areas, known for shooting areas. I feel like they should have, those cameras up. So soon as shots being right there, you know what I'm saying? They can be right there because we have those here in bad areas here. They got them here. Hell yeah. Shit, the cops be right there, Johnny on the spot, baby.
Happy
Hey.
Friday.
Ooh, girl, thank you, Jesus. I'm glad it's
Me
Friday.
too. I ain't lying. Me too.
Ooh, feel like it's been
But
a
it's
long
so,
damn week.
yeah, it's been a long week. I ain't gonna lie. My brain's overloaded. But it was real crazy today because I was in a conversation with I guess a Holly supporter. I don't know who she support. But she made a statement. Why was she in the area? Well, she used to live in the area. Number one, number two, her son go to school. Number three, she had friends in the area. She get her hair did in the area. She worked in the area. Do you know this person still trying to find a way to say she had no business over there? Bullshit. Bullshit. Then she told
Wow.
me she looked on the map. What, baby? I live here. What? You looked on the map and I live here and I'm telling you where the location is. Child, but Chicago is bad. It ain't got worse.
It
The
doesn't
gun run.
matter. I don't know why people even started that. She shouldn't have been in that area. She dropped her fucking son
Yeah.
off fearless day. She dropped her son off. And
Well, she,
again, I'm gonna say for the thousandth times, we don't know what took place when she went up, made that U-turn, and was on her way to work.
I
That's when
know, right,
everything
Miss
went
Dean?
dead to us. We don't know what happened, but we can't say that she was not supposed to be in that area. She was supposed to be there. How the fuck you think her child was going to get to school if she did not go in that area? She had to go up.
Exactly.
She had to go up, make a U-turn, get back on the freeway to go to work. But evidently that never happened. So I don't know why people keep saying she shouldn't have been in that area. I don't understand that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like talking to a wall at this point. Like it's like they gonna make an excuse, a reason. Hold on, I'm sorry. They keep making all these million and one excuses. And then I be forgetting I'm arguing with people that don't even live in Illinois. And that ain't arguing. It's that you gonna tell me where State Street at, where Michigan at, where Wabash is at. You gonna tell me all that and I live here. You can't tell me nothing about Chicago. Especially that end of the town. You can't tell me. Like it's like, come on now. Y'all got too many excuses. Like I told her, the little shooter needs to be locked up. She needs
Yep.
to be locked up. But I was on one of y'all posts yesterday. I don't know who's all in the Justice for Meek's you know the little thing that that we got going on Facebook.
Oh, the
But
group.
the group, but I was in there and I can't find that post and I was tired, but I forgot to screenshot it. A young lady came up there and she was saying how her nephew was killed and how the auntie's son had made a whole rap diss song about him. Like she was saying how they had harassed her family or whatever the case may be, and the auntie be condoning that stuff. So I'm really trying to find that post because I think someone asked her, they were asking her questions about her, but she didn't keep responding. So if anybody is in the group, be on the look, because I tried to go through all the little posts, but it's a lot. So if anybody can recall or whatever the case may be, because I wanted to get her information, because I just wanted to ask her some questions.
What was it? Ebony group?
It might have was Ebony group. It's a few groups.
Oh, okay. See, I ain't in none of them groups.
Yeah, see, I gotta be careful too because I don't know, like, I know Ebony's, I know Brittany's, I'm in her group. Like, it's a few groups, but it's like now I'm getting requests for other groups and I'm not gonna join them if I don't know the people.
I don't know. I don't follow none of you. All I can tell you do is use your discernment.
Yeah, I know who I follow Ebony, I follow Brittany. It's a few.
Brittany say, what happened, Freddie?
Someone came in one of y'all group and made a post stating that the auntie, she condones what they do. And that her nephew was killed. Not son, nephew. He was killed. And her son's supposed to made a rap song about it. And I was too tired yesterday, so I forgot that. When I thought about it, I didn't screenshot it. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
maybe
I was
Brittany.
arguing with somebody that don't even live in Chicago. Like, come on.
Yeah. Maybe Brittany can go back through the group and see, because I don't know.
Yeah. I'm going to try to find it. I'm going to sit down and find it before I go to class. Yeah.
Yeah, just try not to join so many groups. You know what I'm saying?
No,
just,
I'm not in no group.
yeah, just leave it limited. Leave it limited.
Nah, I'm not in no.
Yeah.
You know, I just try to be respectful.
Yeah. Yeah, Brittany, no, I don't join groups.
Yeah.
I try to keep
for the calls. I'm there, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm there for the calls, but Chicago, since that lady, what's her name, Kim Fox, when she was in the office, everything just went up. It just went up. She wasn't charging them. She wasn't doing anything.
So you saying after is she still in the office or she left?
No, she gone, baby.
So everything went left after she left?
No, when she was in office. Because she was supposed to be the top state's attorney.
Oh.
Yeah, she was a state's attorney. She came in doing her job, and then after that, I don't know.
Wow.
It's a lot of unsolved murders in Chicago.
I believe you. I definitely
Our
believe
percentage, that number is high.
Damn, I can believe that, baby.
Yeah, it's high. I pray for any parent that lost their child.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna keep saying, Ramika had a right to be there. She
Why
took her
six?
child to
Yeah.
school. She took her child to school. I mean, like I said, we don't know what took place after she made that U-turn. That's what we lost at right there. Because
Excuse
we
me.
don't know what took place. We don't know,
Excuse me.
what was said. We don't know what was said. We don't know what was it an argument? We don't know nothing. We don't know if Carlos stopped her. We don't know if she stopped Carlos. We don't know nothing at that point. Once she made that U-turn to go back on the freeway, we don't know what happened after that.
Mm-hmm.
We don't.
I wish it never
only one
happened.
know what happened after that is Carlos, Holly,
Mm-hmm.
and God.
That part.
Okay. And we know that Carlos and Holly is not going to say the real truth, what happened. Because in the report, it was already lied and said Ramika went to his house. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that they're not going to tell the truth. Now, whoever that witness was, which I believe that it was somebody that knew Carlos, okay, and said that she went to the house. But again, we know she didn't. But if she did go to that house and ring the bell, she left, right? Unharmed, untouched.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing was done. So then why would you and Holly follow her to where she was at to unalive her? Right?
Yeah, but that didn't happen in front of his house. That's
Yeah.
first off. So that's a lie.
Yeah. I know that, but I'm just putting in the perspective. If it did, y'all
Yeah.
still
Ended
follow
up where
her.
she was at. Yeah.
Yeah, you still
Yeah.
ended up where she was at because it was no confrontation because she had already had left. If that went down the way
Mm-hmm.
they said it went down, which we know it didn't, she had already left. She
Yeah.
got in her car. She left. So that
But
made y'all follow her, right?
yeah,
Let's be
but if
real.
that person wouldn't have never started the rumors and the bad speaking bad on her without even showing the whole videos of what the altercation between her and her son father was, a lot of this wouldn't be up in the air like this.
Right.
He started it all. And then you got people that's listening to a young person that they don't even know nothing about. You ain't even from Chicago. So I don't understand how they trust his words like that. That's where it started from.
Yeah.
I don't like that. But I just want to say happy Friday. I'm going to step down because I'm going into class.
Okay. Happy Friday to you too, girl. Enjoy your Friday.
All right, I'm still listening.
Okay. Yeah, we know that didn't happen like that. So it's crazy, people put out fake stuff, but that's the way it go, y'all. That's the way it go. Sometimes you just got to not listen to everything you hear. Everything you hear is not true, and everything you see, shit, child, mm. She belonged it there. She was in the right place. She took her child to school. What do you want her to do? What did y'all want her to do? She took her son to school. Even if he was late, he got there. What do y'all want the girl to do? You saying don't take her son to school? Is that what you're saying? Because she definitely was in the right place. Like it just don't make no sense to me. I'm so sorry a day like this ever came. A day like this ever came. But again, I do believe Holly knew um what she was doing. I believe that. Yeah, I definitely do believe she knew what she was doing. She knew what she was going to do. All of that. I definitely do believe that. Nobody can tell me different. This is just what I believe, my thoughts. Hey, Miss D in chat. Hey, sweetie, how are you? Roy D, it doesn't matter where they seen her. They had no right to take her life. Absolutely. Absolutely. I definitely agree with you. They had no right to do that. Nobody have a right to take nobody life, you know. But hey, Miss Hill, but people are so evil and spiteful, and they think what they do is right, you know. But there's always consequences out here for everything, no matter what it is. No matter what, it's consequences for everything. And they will get theirs, no matter what. They will get theirs. So I know it's gonna be a crazy weekend. Y'all know I'm gonna step back and watch the play because y'all know me. I don't go live on weekends. I be trying to get my break in, baby. And I come back fresh Monday morning with my head back right. Cause baby, this been a long week. This been a long week. Like literally for real. It has. It's been a long week. I was like, damn, this week long. But I just hope everybody in Chicago, y'all just stay safe. Now I see why everybody take guns in Chicago. Everybody got guns. She sure knew what she was doing. Absolutely. 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 Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yeah, she definitely knew what she was doing. Well, I'm gonna get off of here, y'all. I'm getting off early today. Um, that's my coffee leak. If anybody want to donate a coffee, um, yeah, I see a lot of people saying they don't have what is that Zelle. So I don't know, y'all, and that's why I was saying again, it was better to do the Amazon list and put things up there because people could have got it from the Amazon list. I see a lot of people saying, "Okay, Miss Hill." I see a lot of people saying that they don't have Zelle. So I don't know. If you don't have it, I guess you don't have it. Ain't nothing that I can do. So that's why I was saying, it would be better if, you do the Amazon list. Cause that's what I do every year for my birthday. I do the Amazon list. It's easier, and I sends it out to different people. I don't put it on my community board because I just send it out to different people. But this year I will send it to Brittany, and Brittany could send it to people that follows her and want it. So I'll do it like that with Brittany this year. Mental and emotion reset. Every soldier need to go off the front line and regroup. We all do. We yes, yes, and that's why I do that, sis. It's just a regroup. You know what I mean? Get your thoughts together and stuff like that. Because this has been a really, really heavy case. It really has. And you gotta get your mental back right. You know what I'm saying? So that is so true. And because I just can't do this 7 days a week. I couldn't. It's a lot. It's a lot. It really is a lot. You know. Exactly, day one. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That is so true. So sometimes we all need that. You need that break, you know? Shit. Sometimes I be so goddamn tired in the morning, I don't even feel like getting up. Shit. I'm telling you, man. You have a good weekend too. Yeah, everyone has Amazon. It's easy. Yes, it is. It's very easy. And that's what I thought that she was going to do, the Amazon list, because it would have been, easier for people that don't have that doesn't have Zelle. And that's why I have a PO box. You know, like when people did my birthday last year and year before last, everything goes to my PO box anyway, because my PO box is connected. So I guess maybe I don't know. Maybe they didn't want to get a PO box. I don't know. Maybe they just want to do the shopping themselves. I don't know what the situation was, but I just say I think Amazon was easier. You know, so you're right about that, Brittany. It was easier to me. It was, but who child? I'm going to get up off of here, y'all. I love y'all. AB, you still in my prayers, baby. I love you, sis. Love you, love you, love you. Y'all, please have a safe weekend. Please be safe out here in these YouTube streets. I love y'all. Always remember, stay prayed up, and always remember to always keep God first in everything that you do. I hope everyone continues to feel God's presence in their life. Absolutely, sis. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. Yep. So I will see you guys on Monday. Thank everyone for tuning in. Have a blessed weekend. You all, same to you, sweetheart. You have a good one too. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will see you guys, Lord, on Monday. I guess I have to see what's going on over the weekend. Child, please. Ooh, baby. So I'll see you guys on Monday. Peace and love.